Alright, what is going on? It's Nate, and we got another video today. So today's video, I was flowing earlier, right? I was working on the program that I'm making for the group I have and for all my members and all that. And I was making my section on paradigm, right? And I feel like that's a topic that's super important, but I personally haven't talked about it a ton. And I think as I was continuing to study it and make sure I include all the information I wanted to, it really kind of relit that bulb in my mind of how important of a topic this is. And most people go their whole life without even really knowing what it is. So what is a paradigm, right? So a paradigm is a multitude of habits and beliefs, and it's who you are, right? It's this version of you. It's your soul, right? It's the way you think about things, the way you feel about yourself, the way you feel like you look, the amount of money you feel like you deserve to earn, right? It's all these different things that are in this paradigm is what it is. And this paradigm controls the way that you perceive the whole world, right? So if you see yourself as someone who makes $1,000 a month, right? And then, you're like, oh, well, I want to make $10,000. Your paradigm's immediately like, hey, whoa, you don't know how to do that. What are you doing, right? And so it shuts it down. And so you have to realize that this paradigm is basically like a prison. It's a prison that you put on yourself. And I was posting on my Instagram yesterday on my story, I was talking about kind of a similar thing is the truth is right, we were created in God's image. We have the creative abilities, we are creators, and we are one with God, right? And God is always for expansion and expression. So God wants you to be more, He wants you to do more, He wants you to have more, right? He wants increase. That's why everything grows. Everything is for life. And so we have to understand that the only limits that we have are the ones that we put on ourselves. The only limits we have are the ones that we say we have. It's the limits that it's what you shut down, right? Someone's like, hey, do you want to make 10K this month? You're like, yeah, I don't know how to do that, right? You shut it out. But at what point will you be like, okay, I understand that belief that's deep down in me, I understand that's not a reflection of what I'm capable of, it's a reflection of my conditioning. Because there's a huge difference there, right? Anyone in this world can make $10,000 in a month. I don't care how old you are, pretty much any age, anything, you can make $10,000 a month, right? But what happens is some people accept it and they're like, yeah, I'm doing this. And some people reject it and they're like, I don't know how to do that. I'm not doing it, right? And so they close their minds. And so what I'm saying is this paradigm is basically these walls that are put up around your mind. And if you don't knock down those walls, you're going to continue to get the same results all the time. And if you don't create, you're going to disintegrate, right? So if you're not growing, you're going backwards. It's either forward or backwards. There's no such thing as staying still. So Bob Proctor always said, this guy's in the middle of the road on his bike. And so, that's what it comes down to. It's if you want to change, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm. And the paradigm shift is the hardest part. That is that voice inside of you. That is what you are imagining when you're not thinking about it. It's those subconscious actions. It is your habits. 95% of the time we are acting out of habit. So you have to realize that if 95% of the time you're acting out of habit and your habits have gotten you to where you are, then if you want to get new results, if you want to take new steps, if you want to live a new life, you're going to have to create new habits. And so what the paradigm is what you have to do is understand, okay, this is who I am because of the way I was conditioned. I can recondition this paradigm. I can change what prison cell I'm putting myself into, right? What level of consciousness you're putting yourself into, and then therefore your walls will be different. Or better yet, you don't have walls. But the truth is, no matter how far you go, you can always go more. So you can never knock down the walls. They're always there. But what you can do is you could change what the walls are. You could change what your limits are, and you can change it to any limit you want. And you have to understand that the beliefs, right, this voice in your head is going to tell you you can't do it, you don't know how, but you have to understand that God knows how, and God is within you, and God wants you to fulfill these desires. Who do you think gave you those desires? Who do you think put this on your mind? Huh? You have to understand that the same thing, or the same energy, the same spirit, the same God that put that desire inside of you is the same God that knows how to fulfill it. So you thinking that you don't know how to do it, you believing that you can't do it, is you believing that the creator of all creations doesn't have the answer. And the truth is, the law of polarity, there's an answer for every single question. There is a way for you to make $100,000 today. There is a way. You may not have any idea how. You may not be able to dig deep enough to figure it out, but there is a way. There is a way for you to do anything and everything. And that's what you have to harness. You have to understand, okay, there's this spiritual perfection within me. How can I take this perfection out? Not how can I take it out, how can I allow it to express itself? How can I bring out the perfection within me, right? That is how you change. That is how you make a spiritual growth, is you knock down these walls of, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. And you say, I don't know, you're right, yeah, I have no idea. That's the fun part. I get to learn how. I get to do it before I understand how. I get to walk knowing that God is going to build the bridge as I walk. That is what it comes down to. And there's pictures that represent this. I would have to pull one up, but it's like you're standing on the edge of a mountain and your foot is hovering over just nothingness, right? And you have to have faith that God is going to put that bridge there, because he always does, and he always will, and he always has, right? Think back to a time in your life where you didn't make it. Well, if you're watching this, you obviously can't say that ever happened. So it's like, you have to understand that we don't have any limitations. It is said that humans, even the most advanced of people, don't even use 10% of their potential, right? So we have all of these things that we know that we should be doing this, we should be doing that, maybe we should stop doing this or stop doing that, but we don't do it. That's the paradigm. The paradigm is the habits. So this is what I did. This literally will change your life. It's giving me the chills because it's changing my life as we speak. This is what you do. You create a vision of exactly what it is you want, right? Whatever life it is. I don't care if you think it's possible. It does not matter. It has to be what you want. If someone said you can have anything in your life, you could have anything, you can live any life, you could do any profession, what would come to your mind? I want you to pull up that image, and do not allow your conditioning to reject that. Do not allow your mind to say you can't do it, because you can. That's why you have the image of it in your mind. Okay, so now that you have that image, you need to sit down and you need to ask yourself, what actions do I need to be taking if I'm this person, right? You have to become that person. If I have 1 million subscribers, what actions would I be taking? I would probably be posting videos every day, right? I would probably be studying the YouTube algorithm. I'd probably be studying how I can make more effective thumbnails, right? You would put your focus on breaking these things down. And so many people are like, well, I don't know what I would do, right? I don't have 1 million subscribers. How would I know? That's the thing, is you do know the answer, because the answer is there, but you've never sat down and asked. If you said you wanted to make money trading for a living, well, you should probably spend time studying trading. You should probably make time refining your strategy. You should probably journal the trades that you take. You should probably analyze what you've done. You should probably back test the strategy. You should probably study someone who's done good, right? It's like you can sit down with something you've never done before, and you could break down 1 million things that you could do to get moving in that direction, right? So now you have this idea of what you want, and you understand that, hey, look, I don't know how to do this, but this is what I want, right? So now you have this idea. And now you have actions that you can start taking. So what's going to happen is your paradigm is going to try to get you to not take those actions. It's going to tell you you don't need to do it. It's going to tell you to do it tomorrow, do it the next day, do it later, right? And that's where the gap is. That's where my job, that's what my job is right here. That's what my goal is in life, is I want people to fill that gap. I want people to take it from, I know this, I'm doing this, because that's where the money is made. You can know every piece of information in the entire world. That's not going to make you any money. Right? Having this knowledge in my mind doesn't make me money unless I transmute it, unless I organize the knowledge and present it in a way that it benefits other people, right? I have to provide the value. The knowledge is free, the knowledge is everywhere, but it's what you do with the knowledge. And so what I'm saying is, the reason you can go to school, you can get a degree, you can do all these amazing things, you can watch every YouTube video on the planet, it doesn't mean you're going to make any more money, because your paradigm is the same, and it's going to keep you in that same exact spot. So you have to create this vision of what you want. You have to spend time fantasizing on what exactly this vision is. And then you have to understand, okay, I'm doing this. I don't know how, but I'm doing this. You need to write down actionable steps. What can I start doing to get moving in this direction? And if you need help with this, DM me. I can help you. Because I know at first it's like, well, I don't know. But the truth is, you do know. You just have to ask, and you have to accept that you know the answer, and you'll find the answer, because God gives you the answer, because all of the knowledge is 100% evenly present in all places at all times. The answer to your question is already existent. The answer to your question is already here. You just have to tap into it. You tap into it by stepping into those shoes and digging into your spiritual self and finding the answer. It's there. And then step 3, you have to understand that there's going to be a battle. It is going to be, your paradigm is going to be holding you back. So what you do is you write down these actionable steps, and you make yourself do these every single day. I don't care if that means you don't get to sleep that night. I don't care if that means you get to sleep for 1 hour. I don't care if that means you don't get to have any fun for your entire life. I don't care what it means, because your mind is going to tell you all of these things. It's going to say it's not possible. Write down what it is you want to do. Write down how much time it's going to take to do that action, and make sure that you set aside enough time to do every single one of those actions every single day. And then guess what? After 21 days, 3 weeks, it'll be a habit. And guess what? Now you've just changed your paradigm. You've just changed your paradigm. You've just changed the way that you've been trained since you were a kid, since you were born. From the age 0 to the age 7, you are programmed by your parents, by your surroundings, by the TV, by whatever you're surrounded by, because you don't have the ability to accept or reject ideas, so everything flows right into your mind. So you have been conditioned based off of the way you were raised and what you were raised around, and I'm telling you that in 21 days, in 3 weeks, you could change all of that. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be exciting. You're going to have doubts. You're going to have worry. You're going to have fear. I'm not here to sugarcoat that. But let me tell you, if you don't change, if your actions do not change, if your habits do not change, your results will never change. If you want to change, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm. That's what it comes down to. If you don't change your paradigm, your results cannot change, because your life is 95% habitual and your paradigm is your habits. If your habits do not change, your life will not change. If you change your habits, your life will change. Simple. It's really, really simple, but it's not easy. That's the thing. It's not easy. And so that's why I have the program that I have, right? Because I know that this information's out there. You could read the book, read Think and Grow Rich, read all these other books. It doesn't do anything because you don't apply it. And that's what I'm bringing to you guys, is I'm showing you, look, you know how to do this, but you have to believe you know how to do it. You have to hold yourself accountable to do it. And that's what I'm also here for. If you're working with me, is I can hold you accountable, and then you'll actually do the thing, because the truth is, you know what to do, but you're not doing it. Information is never the problem. 99% of the time, information is not the problem unless you're in a brand new business. You just have to use what you know how to do already. And that's the paradigm shift. So I hope this helped. I know I went on a crazy tangent. I know I was talking really fast, but seriously, change your paradigm, change your results, change your life. And you change your paradigm through constant spaced repetition. So if you decide that you want to change your paradigm, it is not a one-day task. It is not a one-time thing. It is constant spaced repetition. If you are worried about money, if you have a bad relationship with money, then you have to constantly space out repetition of affirmations or whatever it may be that helps you, change your perception on money, which will then change your results. So I'm pulling up to this drive-thru to get my little brother a smoothie because he's sick. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. And that was a fire video. I already know it, so it's going to blow up. But anyways, see you guys in the next one.